Hey fish family, I'm going to just do a quick update on this tank. Someone asked me about it and I realized I haven't shown it in quite a while. This is a 20 long, it's marine, saltwater obviously, and I primarily use it for inverts, mainly corals and shrimp and that kind of thing. There are some fish in it obviously, but today it's looking pretty good. I'd say 90% of the inhabitants in here, the corals, are happy today, and they look happy. I've got the little clownfish there that's, I forget what, hosting that coral. Got a sailfin there, got a yellow tang, which always, there are always weird things that go on here with my fish and fish room, and it's just almost unheard of to have a tang with a sailfin, especially at their size. They're pretty good fish, but someone suggested, you might recall, I had a horrible algae problem in here, and I got a lawnmower Blenny to aid with that, and he ate his way about halfway through the algae and decided, wait, this guy feeds us a couple times a day, I'm not eating that algae. So he's still in here and does go around and keep the rocks cropped short. But someone told me, I can't remember who, on comments on a video, to get a yellow tang and put in there. So I found one on sale at Petco several months ago. That's all they ever do, see them bumping each other with their butts, fanning each other. And they had about a day that they postured with each other, but neither one of them ever had a nick in them, and they seem to really have taken up as friends, and that tang has cleared the algae out of this tank. Now it still eats, of course, when I feed them, and I just have to get them out and about, but there's the intake off my hang on back. All this tank has on it is a small, I think it's like a Tetra hang on back filter. No skimmer, been set up for 2 years. There it is, it's a little one there. Not a lot of flow, just what comes out of that filter. I do have to make sure the filters in it, the filter pads and so forth, don't get too stopped up with algae and debris. But that's pretty much the flow down there. I do have an air stone in here right now. And I've got heaters. Got 2 of the heaters that are preset to 78 degrees. One of them's actually cycling right now, and they keep it at 78. Just going to go real slowly through. We're at 3.5 minutes. Got to get out and plant some flowers and vegetables. Got some live rock, lots of live rock in here. I forget the name of that coral. Most of these I won't know. It's not important to me to know, so I don't try to remember them. That's what's called a Duncan there on the second shelf. There's some more of what that is, I think, on the back. That is actually a little bit harder to keep than some of the others in here. A leather toadstool, and it's kind of closed up. It normally has long spikes out the top of it, like that Duncan, but it doesn't today. But if I waited for everybody to be out, there's Mr. Lawnmower under the umbrella, the torch coral there. Sneaky. Sneaky. There's another little Duncan that hasn't opened all the way up. And I forget the name of that guy there, the two little prong thing. I got that in Knoxville. That one there is not colored like it was when I got it, so I don't think it's as healthy as it could be. The one right in the center that looks like little flowers, it's supposed to be alternating yellow and black. So I probably need to check parameters and see what's going on. There's another Duncan. I like those because they're pretty easy. Nothing down front. Yeah, there's a little coral. I think that's called a flower garden that's fallen down there. I'll set that back up in a moment. It doesn't have a spike on the little coral base thing, so it's constantly being knocked off. I guess I could glue something on there easy enough. These guys were given to me by Zach when they closed and took the coral all home with them to work out of their home, as was that. It's not looking as good today as it does most days. I think that's a sponge right there. Not sure what it is. Those are the pulsing zinnias, and I love zinnias. For me, they've been almost the easiest thing to keep, and this was started out with that one right there in the back and has spread down. Those are sponges. The pink things inside there I think are sponges. But it's spread all up here. I'm stalling for a minute trying to remember the name of this. It's a Kenya tree. There we go. I usually call it that Africa tree, but it's a Kenya tree. And I have several of those. They fall off. There's one down there. They fall off, a branch gets broken off, and it immediately attaches, and then you've got another little Kenya tree. I thought I had set some up on the stand as well, but I don't see them. And let's see, cleaner shrimp. There's those guys. I've got two really big ones. I've had them for a long time. And they're quite the beggars. I've just fed them, so they're not begging now, but they're really pretty. And I do have other fish in here. I have clown gobies, yellow and green, and an assortment of fish. See the lawnmower blenny there? That's how my corals get knocked off. But hey, they gotta do their thing. All right, guys, and hope that was a good enough update and showed enough pretty coral. This tank is going to be having water change tonight, so it's not as clear as it could be. But I do them every weekend, so it never gets really bad. Just like your freshwater, you've got to keep up with these guys. I've got another one of those stadium type, that's what I call them, with the bleachers that pull out on the sides and front. That I got from my LFS that stopped using them and went to a different route. Actually went to that egg crate, which is what I hate, but they liked it, so I bought two of those, and I eventually want to put the other one in here and put it across the back, have them all the way across the back, the two pieces, and then begin to collect more corals. So we'll see. We'll see how things go in the world and if that comes to fruition. Guys, if you have any comments or questions, I'm sure there are lots of people that know a lot more about salt and coral than I do that could let me know something they've seen, or it's one of my snails, Anthony's Fishy Friends, great channel. He keeps salt and fresh as well. He's always asking me what are my favorite snails, and I can never remember the name, and I can't today. That's one of them. Like the patterns and the shape. Alright, as I was saying, give me a comment or a question, or see if I can get this turned around without making him close up. No, there he goes. Flower pot, that's what these are called. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I always appreciate you watching and liking if you did care about the video at all. And I'm starting to kind of push for subscribers. You guys know I rarely ask people to subscribe. I'm really finicky, not finicky, but I know who I want to subscribe to and who I don't. But I am going to try to push on coming up on 1,300, and You guys really put me over the top fast with that 1,000, so I like to try and get to 2,000. By the end of the year is very doable the way you guys are going. If it happens sooner, that would be fine. If it doesn't happen, we're happy with the 1,300 of us. So thanks a lot, guys.